Occasionally we find ourselves in situations that seem impossible to resolve. For example, a woman may have a need for affection, whereas her boyfriend or husband may have a need for respect. If the man feels a lack of respect, he may not be willing to acknowledge the woman's need for affection. Likewise, if the woman feels a lack of affection, she may not be willing to acknowledge the man's need for respect. This kind of situation can lead to a stalemate in which each person keeps insisting that their demands be met while continuing to ignore the other's needs. For example, the woman may say, "I want you to appreciate me." And the man may reply, "Maybe I would if you showed me a little respect." The way out of this conundrum, of course, is for each person to acknowledge each other's needs. However, and here's the trick, both people have to be willing to do this, which is not always easy. Often one person is willing to compromise, but not the other. Consequently, there can be no satisfactory solution. Both people will have to listen to each other's concern for the conflict to be successfully resolved. Have you ever been caught in a cat and mouse game in which you wanted Y and the other person wanted X, and neither of you were responding to each other? If so, think about how you might begin to establish a dialogue. Here's a suggestion. After allowing time for things to calm down, tell the person that you wish to consider their needs. Use statements like, "I will try to be more considerate of your need for X," or "I realize I have ignored your need for X." When making such statements, try to avoid contingencies. That is, there is no need to say, "I will try to be more considerate of your need for X if you do such and such." Rather, in the initial stage, state only what you will try to do better. The idea is for one person, in this case you, to show a willingness to acknowledge the other person's needs. Once that person realizes that you are being considerate of them, they will feel less inclined to be argumentative. With this preliminary step accomplished, you can then follow up with statements such as, "Can you also consider my need for Y?" That is, first create an opening by acknowledging the other person's needs without asking for anything in return. Once this bridge is established, the other person will be more likely to be receptive to your needs. Here's a reflection. Think about any conflicts you have been involved in. How did each person express their wishes? What might have happened if you had put aside your desires for a moment and first considered what the other person was asking for?